All right, guys, so what we saw there was a bunch of pulling and kind of just disconnected behavior from Mr. Bo. He is again on a flat collar, so just his regular old collar. What I have here is I already fit this for him. This is a prong collar. I've already fit it for him. If you have any questions about how to fit a prong collar, I have a video online that you can see. But this is going to be how I introduce him to a prong collar. So you could see how he was pulling, how he's disconnected, not really checking in with me all over the place. Now we're going to be actually asking him to pay attention. And we're going to do that through pressure and release with the prong collar. So not only is it going to let me communicate with this guy better, but it's actually going to help me control that pulling. You know, it's not going to be so strenuous on his throat because he does a lot of pulling, puts a lot of pressure on the top of his throat. So we're going to get him fit and take him for a spin. And so this is something that you can do with any dog. And I'm going to show you how I introduce a dog to a prong collar. So, like I said, I've already got it fit for him. So I'm just going to be hooking it up. Here, bud. So it sits again high at the top of the neck. We'll get our safety hook down here. Take that black leash off. All right. So now we're fit with our prong collar. Double check a couple things. There we go. Pull all that squishiness through, and take this guy for a spin. So this is going to be how we introduce prong collar with pressure and release. Pressure. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So what we're looking for is just applying a little bit of pressure, like that. Yes, good boy. The minute he moves, we release pressure, we cheer him on. Good job. Let's go. Good boy. Yes, good boy. A little bit ahead, I stop, we apply pressure, yes. I'm going to mark the pressure with the word yes. Yes. When he releases the pressure, good job. Good boy. A little bit ahead, pressure, yes. I want you to make sure that you see the big release that I do. So if I have pressure on the leash, when he yields to it, I give him slack. Okay. We're just using fingertips worth of pressure. Good job. To slow this guy down, to get him tuned in. He goes ahead. A little bit of pressure. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Pressure. See the side. Yes. Good boy. He's already anticipating reaching the end of the leash, so we got pressure, release, good boy. And again, it's all fingertips. We're like fingertips worth of pressure. I'll see if I can get a little closer to show you closer to the camera. So, we got pressure, release, yes. Good boy. Like that, good job. Good boy. Pressure, release, yes, good boy. Good job. Good boy. Good job. All right. So now that he's kind of getting the feel of what pressure on the collar feels like, I'm going to start walking him in straight lines and actually working on trying to get him into a heel position. And we do that with our arm movement, the way that our arm naturally swings when we walk, and with some pivot moves to catch his attention. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. Let's go. So for heel, we're looking for our dog to be on our left side. Oh boy. We want him here on the left side. So we got to show him how to stay there. As we walk naturally, we swing our arms, do some big arm swings. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. What these arm swings tell him is if he's in the right spot or not. What we're looking for is when he's in the right spot, the leash just moves like this. It just moves like that, nothing happens. When he pulls ahead or he lags behind, my arm swing creates a little more pressure on the collar, guides him back into the heel position. So we'll demonstrate that a little bit for you. Let's go. Forward. Good job. So we got the arm swing. He's a little bit ahead, so there's a little bit of a click on the leash. Good boy. Again, I'm just trying to get him used to feeling leash pressure and what it means. He turns the pressure off when he gets into heel position. Good boy. So really exaggerate that arm swing right now, because I really want him to feel, you know, when he's in the right spot. Good boy. Yes. Good job. And you can see he's already checking in, he's glancing over. He's more aware of where my legs are, because I'm challenging him with all this movement to pay attention. Good boy. Now, we're going to do a little bit of an exercise that's going to help me even more get him tuned in. Because even though I'm swinging my arms, I'm still applying a lot of pressure, you know, or moving a lot of pressure, because he goes back in front of me and back in front of me. So I want to do something that will soften him up to help him get a little more tuned into me, so that my arm swings can stay pretty natural. They don't have to get really big, don't have to apply a lot of pressure, and he's doing a good job about actually paying attention to where I am based off of where my body is, and even less on me physically putting him in the right spot. And that's going to be a mix of turns. So these are called what I call spins. Some people call them 180s. We're just walking one direction, and we completely let him drift ahead of us, hold him with one hand, and turn the other way. So I'll demonstrate that for you now. Let's go. Good boy. So what you're ultimately doing is you're bringing your leash in here with your right hand to hold it in the middle of your body. And what you're going to be doing is letting him go with your left hand and turning away from him. So we'll demonstrate that for you now. Let's go. Good boy. So I bring my right hand into my body. I let him go with my left hand, and I just turn around. Good boy. Pat, pat, pat. Get him to catch up. Good job. Do that again so you can see. I'm going to go with my left hand, turn around. Come on, bud. Good. There we go. Yes, good boy. So he's not even hitting the leash on that end. Yes, good boy. Great. So what I'm finding is that he's drifting, but he's not having to hit the end of the leash, because he has felt the leash pressure, so he knows when I let him drift, that means he's got to turn and be aware of me. He doesn't want to hit the end of the leash. He wants to pay attention to where I am, which is great. That's good. We do that a lot to soften our dog up. So he drop the leash and turn. Yes, good boy. If he drifts like I had there, good boy. If we click the end of the leash, that's fine. There's a correction there when he drifts and he doesn't turn with me. So I'm going to demonstrate that walking right at you guys. Go. Come on, boy. Good job. So I let the leash go. Turn away. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Same that direction. We'll do it again walking towards you guys. Leash right here. Let him go. Pivot. Come on, bud. Good. Cool. And what this is doing is getting him to be aware of when I turn, so that if I slow down, he starts to notice, because he wants to anticipate that turn. Good boy. I have a 6-foot leash here. It's a little long, so I'm going to just take it up a bit and make it a smidge shorter, so that when I turn, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. When I turn, I can maybe create a little bit more of that correction. So we let him go. We turn. Yes, good job. And what you'll end up with is a dog that you can almost walk for a little bit without even using your left hand, because he's paying attention to where your legs are. Good boy. So that's what I have here, is he's cruising with me. Oops, sorry, boo. He's cruising with me. Yes, he's paying attention to when I turn. Good boy. Which is very helpful for if I slow down. Good boy. Feet up. Yes, good boy. We come to a stop. Good job. Yes, good doggy. Good boy. But these are just some exercises that you can do with your dog once you get them on the prong collar to start working on them, tuning in, being aware of where you are, where your body is, and introducing them to the prong collar. Because now I'm going to walk, I'm going to go back to my arm swing, and I bet he's going to be even better about staying in heel because we've done those spin exercises. Those are really valuable tools to help you when your dog's being exceptionally pushy and pulley, even on the prong collar, to soften them up and get them to tune in. So now we're going to walk like normal and swing our arm a little bit. Let's go. Much better about staying in heel. Good boy. Good job, bud. Good boy. Alright guys, so you just saw all the leash work to kind of introduce him to the prong collar. Now I want to take a minute and show you kind of like a point of view look of where heel is and where he really should be with your body. So as you can see, here are my legs. And there's my boy right there. So he's right at my knees or a little bit behind me. And you can see him swinging my arm, doing that arm swing I talked about. And when he's in the right spot, you look closely, the clip is just moving. That's all that's happening. There's not any pressure on the collar. But let's say he gets out of heel, like right there. Pressure on the collar slows him right down because of my arm swing. So that was a good example of your backward swing is slowing your dog down. You're using little leash pressure, leash pops to slow your dog down when he gets ahead of you, when he gets out of that heel position. And just, if you think about it, the natural movement of your arm is just like a, you know, a wave. The way a wave bounces a boat against a dock. The bigger the waves, the harder the boat hits. The smaller the waves, the less the boat hits. It's the same deal. You know, it's a murmur. It's just a whisper. It's a conversation. That leash clip moving tells you he's in the right spot. But if he gets too far ahead, it gets a little bit bigger because he, you know, sped up or he pulled ahead. The backward swing gets a little bit firmer. It allows you to really get a feel for what your dog's doing, and it really helps him understand, you know, how to pay attention, how to read what you're doing, paying attention to your where your actual body is by looking over at your leg, but also, you know, feeling like he's having a conversation with you as he walks through the leash. So, good boy, bud. So right now, you know, this is day one, so we might be getting a little sniffy on the ground, stuff like that. That's okay. That cleans up in a little bit as he gets a little more tuned in to what we want. We start working on automatic sit and things like that. But what he's not doing is dragging me into the grass or shooting ahead or dragging behind. He's staying right here, my side of my legs, in the heel position. If I come to a stop, I'm just going to use a little leash pressure to slow him down. Good boy. Are you a good boy? Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. You. Good boy. And we just start that swing again. And here at the beginning, like I said, you can really over-exaggerate your swing as you want to give him information. If you're way back here and he's way up there, there needs to be pressure to slow him down. Good boy. Just like that. So I kind of stopped, but my arm is, you can see, I mean, I'm doing very dramatic swings right now, but I want him to feel where I am. I want him to see, to know, to feel my arm. You know, we swing our arms when we walk naturally. So feel like you're walking a dog, but you're not really walking a dog, because most people are really tense when they walk a dog, and you've got to be relaxed and loose and comfortable to be able to walk your dog successfully. One last thing I want to mention before the video's over is that with everything I'm doing, the leash is relaxed. So even though this is a short leash, I'm not giving him a ton of leash. It's not a tight leash, okay? So the difference between a tight leash and a short leash can easily be seen in the prong collar itself. When you look at a prong collar, you see there's a little triangle happening right here. So pressure on the collar, the triangle's up. There's no pressure. Let's go. So what we're looking for is when we walk, there to only be pressure on the prong collar if our dog is pulling ahead. lagging behind. We need him to sit. It's only if we're giving him information. It's not the whole walk. If your whole walk is your dog pulling and you're like this the whole time and the prong collar's tight and you're just walking your dog tight on a prong collar, you're not using your prong collar correctly. So the most important thing is finding release and helping your dog find release on the prong collar. You're learning how to walk your dog comfortably so that you're swinging your arms, you're moving the leash, but that there's not much pressure on it, if at all, unless you're sharing information like slow down, speed up, sit down, whatnot. You know, ignore that, giving a correction for any nonsense or something like that. You're looking for a short but relaxed leash. So at this point, I don't want to give him a bunch of leash because he starts drifting ahead and there's no way for me to slow him down because my arm swing won't catch him, it's too big. So I do need to have a pretty accurate, you know, length of leash for him, which is probably going to be like right around a little less than a foot of leash based off of my height and his, you know, body and stuff. But we're looking for a short yet relaxed leash. We're not looking for a short, tight leash. We're looking for short and relaxed. Just like that. Good boy, buddy. So, I'm going to give you guys one more little tip. One more little tip as we get started. Talk to you soon. Thanks.